love or hype? Inside the rumors surrounding Yulong and Yong Mie Mie's private life. In late spring, the entertainment world went into overdrive when Yulong and Yong Mie Mie quietly confirmed their marriage, just over a month after meeting. There were no lavish ceremonies, no magazine exclusives. Yet, the internet ignited. Fans scoured every detail: the ring, the dress, the date. Some saw destiny, others saw a scandal. Gossip sites called it too fast, too perfect, too scripted. Within hours, hashtags soared to millions of views. And then, amidst the chaos, Yulong broke his silence. 6 simple words: happiness needs no explanation. That post became the calm in the digital storm, gathering millions of likes but raising an even deeper question. What drives a man to choose silence when the whole world is demanding noise? Yulong, a rising star born in Heilongjiang, had built his reputation on strong, stoic roles, the kind of characters who protect, endure, and rarely break. Off-screen, he was known for discipline, humility, and avoiding controversy. Meanwhile, Yong Mie Mie, younger, with a reputation for sweetness and sincerity, embodied a kind of innocence rare in showbiz. Her soft-spoken interviews, natural smile, and refusal to chase viral fame made her a quiet favorite among fans craving authenticity. Their worlds collided at the perfect, or perhaps imperfect time. He was steady, she was spontaneous. He lived by logic, she led with feeling. To the public, it was cinematic fate. But behind the glamour, they were simply two people daring to connect where the world least expected it. In reality, it began not at a film set or red carpet, but a dinner that Yulong never wanted to attend. His friends dragged him along, fate took care of the rest. Across the restaurant, a girl in a white sweater caught his eye. No filters, no stage lights, just her, laughing softly by the window. They spoke their hometown dialect, trading memories of childhood alleys and dreams of quiet futures. For once, neither needed to perform. When they said goodbye, Yulong whispered, "If you want, we can go on together." She smiled. That night, neither of them slept. They both knew something rare had begun, not lightning but a steady flame. In a world obsessed with instant love stories, theirs grew from silence, sincerity, and an understanding too simple to explain, yet too strong to deny. Unlike the grand spectacles of celebrity unions, Yulong and Yong Mie Mie's wedding preparations were intimate and raw. Behind each photo-perfect detail were sleepless nights, misunderstandings, and small compromises that tested their patience. Yong Mie Mie once stood in front of the mirror whispering, "Am I really ready?" Yulong spent nights cross-checking the guest list, not from fear but from responsibility. Their shared exhaustion became their first lesson in marriage. Love isn't glamorous, it's deliberate. They fought, they laughed, they learned. They discovered that true partnership isn't built by photographers but by moments unseen. Like when he quietly fixed her veil without words, or when she stayed up to prepare his lines for an early shoot. In every small act, their bond was being written. Not for the press, but for themselves. After the ceremony, they embraced normalcy. Morning coffee brewed slowly, late-night groceries turned into adventures, street corner meals replaced fine dining. They weren't hiding, they were simply living. Yong Mie Mie would tease him about his obsession with spicy beef. He'd laugh, handing her the sweetest fruit he could find. They believed happiness meant being unseen. Yet, in the age of constant connectivity, peace is fleeting. One blurry photo, one careless rumor, that's all it took. Headlines began whispering, "Trouble already? Living separately? Marriage for clout?" Every click became a weapon. And still, that night, they sat together under a dim kitchen light, scrolling through the chaos, realizing that even love can become trending content when you belong to the public. Then it hit, the full-blown wave of scandal. Entertainment blogs screamed about betrayal, fake contracts, even secret lovers.
No proof, no logic, just no ase. Screenshots spred like wildfire. Strangers dissected ever glance, ever word, ever outfit.
Fans divided into camps, defenders versus doubters. Yulong and Yong Mie Mie became prisoners of the narrative. One paparazzi photo of them walking separately was twisted into frozen marriage. In truth, they just argued over noodles. Yet perception became reality. For Yulong, each headline was a lesson in helplessness. how fast truth disappears once the story starts selling. But instead of fighting back, he chose stillness. Let them talk, he said softly.
Our love doesn't need translation.
That restraint, that quiet defiance, became the most powerful statement of all. When Yu Long finally posted, "Happiness needs no explanation," the internet froze. Within an hour, comments flooded in, some supportive, others cynical. "He's avoiding the truth," one wrote. "This is poetic courage," said another. But Yu Long wasn't speaking to the public. He was speaking to young Mie Mie, to remind her that they didn't need validation to be real. Those 6 words became armor, shielding them from endless speculation. In them lay a universal truth: happiness isn't performance, it's persistence.
True love doesn't shoot. It endures.
That single line sparked essays, fan videos, and countless discussions about privacy in modern relationships. And quietly, it also gave hope that maybe, just maybe, love could still exist without hashtags, without approval, without explanation. Away from headlines, life went on. They still bought instant noodles at midnight, shared laughter, argued over movie choices. Paparazzi snapped photos, tabloids spun them into stories of tension. Young Mie Mie once looked at a headline claiming she cried in public, and burst out laughing. She just yawned. "They can't see our smiles," Yu Long said. "And they never will." That became their motto. They stopped scrolling. They started planting flowers on their balcony instead. When asked if he regretted fame, Yu Long replied, "No. I only regret how people forget we are human too." In a time when every gesture is monetized, their quietness became radical, a rebellion of peace. Because sometimes, choosing to live your truth quietly is louder than any public declaration. Marriage taught them resilience. It wasn't all sunshine. There were clashes, miscommunications, nights apart, moments of doubt. But each struggle shaped them. Yu Long learned humility, that strength isn't about control but understanding. Young Mie Mie learned patience, that love isn't always exciting, but it's consistent. They transformed from performers into partners, from dreamers into doers. Love, they realized, is not about perfection but perseverance. In interviews, Yu Long once said, "Real love begins after the applause ends." And perhaps that's the secret. Theirs isn't a fairy tale, it's a practice. One built on the courage to stay when it's easier to leave, to listen when it's easier to shout. Their journey became less about proving love, and more about protecting it, from outsiders, from gossip, from themselves. When the noise settled, what remained was clarity. Yu Long and young Mie Mie's story isn't about scandal, it's about boundaries. It's a mirror to our digital age, where love is broadcast, dissected, and doubted. Their choice to retreat, to hold hands through silence, is an act of rebellion. Because in the end, happiness truly doesn't need an audience. It needs truth. It needs 2 people who refuse to give up. So maybe their story isn't just theirs. Maybe it's ours too. Maybe it's a reminder that you don't owe the world your explanation, only your honesty. And now I want to hear from you. What does happiness mean to you? Have you ever chosen silence instead of justification? Share your thoughts below. Your story might inspire someone else to protect their peace too. Thank you for watching this episode on LVT Showbiz. If you believe that love doesn't need to be shouted to be real, click like, hit subscribe, and turn on notifications, because we bring you more than gossip.
We bring you the truth behind the spotlight.
Tell us in the comments, should celebrities owe explanations to the public, or do they deserve silence too? Your comment could be the start of a bigger conversation. Until next time, stay curious, stay kind, and remember, happiness needs no explanation.